Hello and welcome to another Pauper video. I'm kalikaiz. Today I'm going to be playing a Dimir Flicker mid-range control deck that is very spicy. This comes as a deck donation from Ritual Hippie via Discord, and hit me up for a one-off deck donation. Really appreciate that. So thank you very much for the deck donation. Um, the way this deck works, we're trying to play similar to the Dimir Fairies deck, playing spellstutter sprite with Sneaky Snacker. We also have the Modern Age as a threat, and then we have Refurbished Familiar as a threat because we have an artifact land mana base. And then what we're trying to do is abuse Ghostly Flicker as a 4 of, just kind of as a tech piece. We're not recurring it or anything, but we can flicker Cryogen Relic, we can flicker Spellstutter Sprite, we can flicker the Refurbished Familiar. That's all pretty brutal. We also have Tithing Blade, which we can flicker. Grim Bauble, it ETBs and gives a creature -2/-2, like I forget the name of the instant that does that, but we can flicker that as well for small creatures. And then we have 2 cast downs. So we have 6 removal spells. We have a bunch of card draw. We have a bunch of counter spells. And then in the sideboard, they asked me to try to tech out the sideboard for the metagame. I know we want the 4 Blue Blast. I've seen people playing 2 Envelops. This is good versus Lead the Stampede decks as well as versus Burn because there are a lot of sorcery speed draw spells there, so I put those in there. We have a Dispel as a catch-all. 2 Thorn of the Black Rose for like mirrors or really grindy games. 2 Suffocating Fumes to try to wipe the board. Could try Arms of Hadar here. I don't think that the one that deals -2 to everything would be good given our creatures. Then we have 2 more cast downs and 2 Nile spell bombs. I think this should round it out. It's a little out of my playstyle. I'm excited to try it out. I do love trying to get tons of value out of Cryogen Relic, so I will see you in the matches. Thanks for watching. Did you know you could get sideboard guides on patreon.com/kalikaiz? And did I mention you can get early access to videos on the YouTube page in the membership section? And if you like these videos, make sure to like and subscribe. Okay, we're jumping in. This is round 1 versus Maya Cycle. We have the Grim Bauble that does not hit a Glade Cover Scout. That's bad. Okay, so we'll just play it. I'm just going to play it, and then I'm going to try to Eviscerate inside it. Try to find a Tithing Blade. They play a Sheltered Landscape. So sideboard-wise, I have Suffocating Fumes. Originally, the person who created the deck, Ritual Hippie, had an Annul, and then an extra Tithing Blade. I ended up cutting the Tithing Blade, but it looks like that was not the greatest idea. The Suffocating Fumes can be okay. They play a Ledgewalker and get in. We don't find a Spellstutter Sprite, so I'll play the land and pass the turn. My opponent plays a Utopia Sprawl on their Forest. Yeah, that works. They're going to get in for 2, or just 1, leaving the Glade Cover Scout back. And I accidentally skipped. That sucks. This is inside the Grim Bauble. I accidentally skipped my turn. We can put the Snacker in the graveyard. Interesting. I'll try that. Pick up the island. Snacker goes to the graveyard. Now I can play out the Cryogen Relic. Snacker won't come back, but I could draw into a Spellstutter Sprite. Still trying to find the Tithing Blade. I think I'm toast. But it has an Ancestral Mask, so they have 4 power on the table. This time they probably attack with both creatures. Yep, we got a 14. I found Spellstutter Sprite. I will start with the Cryogen Relic. Draw a card. Find the Modern Age. So I can just play the Modern Age and return. Let's discard this Bojuka Bog. Return the Spellstutter Sprite. And then return the Sneaky Snacker. Then this next turn, I'll draw and discard. I can play the Vault of Whispers. I can play Spellstutter Sprite on a 2-drop. The Sillon Ledgewalker doesn't have trample yet. It's a 13. Okay, so we're dead. We died because we played the Modern Age. We got hammered. Okay. So the Grim Bauble doesn't do anything. And the Cast Down doesn't do anything. The Envelop could do something. Suffocating Fumes can come in. And then I guess the Envelop, because they have Malevolent Rumbles. I'll submit. This doesn't feel very good. So we're trying to find fast Counterspell and fast Tithing Blade. Okay, we're on the play. Unfortunately, I have to mulligan this hand. It was close. This hand I can't keep either. We don't have enough lands. All right. We're going to be keeping. Putting back the Bojuka Bog. And I suppose the island. We'll play Bridge into Refurbished Familiar into Cryogen Relic to pick up the See the Synod. Opponent mulligans to 5. We might be able to leverage the Refurbished Familiar to kind of punish their mulligan. Let's see. Sometimes they play spells with flashback or for with escape, like the Sentinel's Eyes type thing. The Utopia Sprawl. We'll play the Refurbished Familiar. One has green from the Utopia Sprawl and the land. They discard as safekeeping. Okay. That's kind of weird because their creatures have hexproof, so I guess they assumed that I was going to be able to blow up their enchantments somehow. Plays a Bogle. Let's play the Cryogen Relic. We draw an Inviscer's Insight. So if I Dimir Aqueduct, I'll have 4 untapped mana next turn. I'll pick up the Sea of the Synod. I'm just going to leave back the creature in case they can attack, I guess, you know? I'll try to block. There's a Cartouche of Solidarity, which makes it a 2/2 first striker. Doesn't currently have trample, but if they Rancor, then it will. I'm not sure that blocking here is the most useful use of my time. Now they have the Rancor, so blocking doesn't really help. I need a Tithing Blade. Let's Eviscer's Insight the Cryogen Relic. Finding Envelop. Wow, that was not good. Let's Modern Age. Discarding the tap land. Pass the turn. They have Ethereal Armor, so it's a 10/8. I think I blocked the Warrior token. They don't attack with the Warrior. I'm taking 10. That sucks, but it is what it is. We have to find the Tithing Blade. It's non-token creature? Or no, it's just a creature. Draw and discard. Okay. So I think we lose. Right? Yeah, I can't win. Since Tithing Blade says creature and not non-token creature. We'll see what happens in round 2. Alright, I'm on the play in round 2. My interaction did not line up before. Here I have no blue mana. I think I mulligan. Too much blue mana. We'll get rid of the... I want to get rid of the last counterspell. I think so. Alright, so we'll play a See the Synod and pass the turn. Opponent plays an island. And nothing. Well, we could get spellstuttered, but... spell pierced. Gotta try the Modern Age here, I think, because the benefit of discarding the Sneaky Snacker is just too strong. And I'll discard a Sneaky Snacker. I drew a Tithing Blade, which is good. Need to draw some mana. My opponent brainstorms on my end step. They Thought Scour away a Luring Revealed and a Thought Scour, and they play land. So my best draw now is black mana. They ponder. I don't know if I don't actually know. I guess if I drew another Snacker and could pitch that and then draw another 2 cards, that would be the best draw. You find a Ghostly Flicker. I'll draw. Guess I'm discarding the Refurbished Familiar since I don't have mana. Play the Cryogen Relic and draw a card. Snacker will return. So that's good. If I get a 3rd land, I can flicker the Modern Age and the Cryogen Relic, discard the Snacker, and then immediately return it, which would be really sweet. I would love that. Okay, they got an island, played an island. They have 6 in the graveyard. If I draw an untapped black source, I will Tithing Blade them. Let's just hit you with the Tithing Blade. It's all working out. Get in for 2. Now I can look for a moment to try to flicker the Tithing Blade and the Cryogen Relic. Ooh, gas. They play Tolarian Terror. Alright. We have a Spellstutter Sprites. I can just play the Sneaky Snacker. I'll play it. Snacker on defense. Yeah, we'll just pass and then triple block the Tolarian Terror, killing it. I don't know if that'll be great. We'll try it. They Sleep of the Dead a Snacker. Well, that's just mean. It's in for 5. Okay. I'll take the 5. As a mental note, hopefully they play a creature here. Brainstorm looking for a land. We're definitely hoping that they whiff on a land. Because I need to resolve my flicker. They didn't have a Spell Pierce before. They showed me a Dispel in the graveyard. Plays a Terror. Okay. We're going to Ghostly Flicker, the Cryogen, and the Tithing Blade. So you go ahead and sack one of those creatures. Ooh, we found a Majuka Bog. Quite nice, quite nice. Majuka Bog you. Attack for 4. That's so mean. I love it. Any deck that can like do this to Terror feels good. But they're still hitting me for 5. It's not over. I get in for 5. My turn. I'll play Island. I'll play a Refurbished Familiar for 1, hopefully. Yes, 1 mana. Maybe they want to discard whatever it is. They go Counterspell. I'll flash into Spellstutter Sprite. They go Counterspell. I'll flash into Spellstutter Sprite. On your Counterspell. On your Counterspell. Discard your card. Attack. Opponent's at 8. They can hit me for 5. I don't even think it matters. They ponder. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So I can chump with the sprite or the refurb. I probably should chump with the sprite if I'm going to chump with anything, but they might have a post attacks Sleep of the Dead, and then I wouldn't have lethal. And even if they do attack, then I can just crack the cryogen on it and pay for the ward. So I'm not going to attack or block. Okay, we're 1-0. I don't know if I can do it again. Well, let's see. So Grim Bauble, it has no use. That means that the Nile spell bombs can come in. Obviously, I think we want the cast downs. I wonder if the modern age isn't that good. Like we could bring in the cast downs and then trim on some modern ages and maybe bring in a dispel. Maybe it's too much that's being cut though. I think I should cut the blood fountain. It's not like they're killing my creatures. I'll submit. Okay. I think I'm keeping this hand. Play Mistvault Bridge. Opponent has an island on their turn 1. Brainstorm. So I think I play the Nile Spellbomb out, and then I go Refurbished Familiar, and then try to Spellbomb them. They cycle for another island. I'll go Land and Spellbomb. They don't do anything. I think I hit you with a Refurb. I don't think you have the Force Spike. You might have an Annul. They Thought Scour themselves. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll just 1, 2. They discard a counterspell. Spellbomb you. Okay. My opponent plays an island. We're going to look to play island. This way I have spellstutter plus dispel. Get in for 2. In mental note, we'll hit them with the spellstutter. This way they just lose a card from their hand. They counterspell, I'll dispel. They probably have a terror that's going to come out. Right now it costs 5 and they have only 3 mana. Terror costs 7, then it goes down to 5. But they only have 3 mana. Fair enough. Gut shot on my creature, bummer. I'll get in for 1. Then I'll play out a Sneaky Snacker, which is nice because I can just Eviscer's Insight it. If my opponent does something on end step here, I think I would go for the Eviscer's Insight. They mental note themselves. Counterspell and Sleep of the Dead go to the graveyard. Plays a Delver and a Tolarian Terror. Okay, they've got pressure. I'll attack for 3, and then I'll Eviscer's Insight on sacrificing the Sneaky Snacker. It will return immediately. And we found Cast Down. So I can play the Aqueduct, picking up the Vault of Whispers, looking to go Cast Down on the Terror plus Counterspell on the next turn. My opponent, let's see, do they flip the Delver? They do. Revealing a Brainstorm. They're getting in for 8. Okay. So tie game. Like Serpent, I will try Counterspell. We know they have Brainstorm in hand, so I guess they are toast. You can just Brainstorm here, and then maybe they hit a land drop, maybe they just find a spell. We're going to cast down this Terror, and then attack for 3, Eviscer's Insight the Sneaky Snacker. Also have a Ghostly Flicker, which is neat. Well, I'll start by attacking. Kill the Terror, pay the ward, and then draw 2, put the Snacker back on the table. Find a Spellbomb and a Flicker. Put in Ponders. They do have Sleep of the Dead in the graveyard. Let's see what they're going to do. They get in for 3, which puts me at 9. Plays a Tolarian Terror and a Delver of Secrets. Let's start with the Cryogen Relic. Now I have a Bajuka Bog, so I'll Bajuka Bog you. I think I'm going to try Flicker on Cryogen and Island. If I can draw into some cards. Cards like a Tithing Blade. We'll draw 2. Finding a Spellstutter Sprite. Okay. They flip the Delver on a Gut Shot. I wonder if they're going to play the Gut Shot here. Okay, we're going to go to blocks. Block the Delver. Block the Terror. Then I think they Gut Shot the Sneaky Snacker. They don't do anything with it. I guess that's not great. That means I can't Spellstutter something because they've got the Gut Shot. Okay, let's see what happens. Again, Mortuary Mire, Refurbish Familiar, and then draw into it. Mortuary Mire. Get back the Refurb. Actually, this is pretty good with the Flicker. Mortuary Mire. I Flicker the Cryogen Relic and the Mortuary Mire, or just Flicker the Cryogen Relic and an untapped land. Alright, we'll Flicker. Oh, I should have floated black. We get the Refurbished Familiar back. The Sneaky Snacker too. I'll play Refurbished Familiar. Get ready your Gut Shot. I assume they Gut Shot the Refurbished Familiar. And then we just Spellstutter Sprite that. Now we get to draw a card. Because Refurbished Familiar is broken. And play Nile Spellbomb and hit you with the Nile Spellbomb. drawing a Mistvault bridge. So the plan is to put the refurbished familiar in front of the insect when it attacks in with just the Tolarian Terror. I will block with the spellstutter sprite. Let's crack the cryogen relic on the terror. Turn it off for a second here. Pay the ward. Okay. Opponent has a lockdown terror. Now I can play refurbished familiar. They might have counterspell. They did not. What do they discard? Discarding an island. I'll play an island. I'm going to attack with the sneaky snacker. No blocks, okay. Then I'll eviscerate insight on the snacker and draw 2 cards. Return the snacker. Find another refurbished familiar. Okay, I'll play refurbished familiar again. Draw another card. So next turn I have lethal in the air. My opponent concedes. We beat terror. Let's go. I'll see you in round 3. All right, round 3. Run the play. This hand is probably fine. I guess we lead on the Mortuary Mire. We could also lead on the Bajuka Bog. I guess I'll just bog them now. Because I could Modern Age away the Eviscerator's Insight. I mean the Spellstutter Sprite. Opponent plays a Dross Forge Bridge. Let's see the Synod and then cast the Modern Age. I think I'm going to discard the Grim Bauble. Looks like my opponent's playing Jund Wildfire. They wildfire their land. Kind of refurbished familiar. And Spellstutter. So I can just get rid of Spellstutter and then hit them with the refurb. 1, 2. Maybe that's not good. I'll discard the Visitor's Insight and play the Sea the Synod and pass the turn. Oh, this is Mardu Synth. They play a Limbus. Okay. So this is a deck. Maybe I should have counterspelled that. Another Limbus. We'll counterspell. I think I have to play my Mortuary Mire. Pass. I want to, like, there we go. Try to Spellstutter Sprite their Synthesizer. They have to bolt it. Galvanic Blast. So hopefully they find a red spell that they can't use. Finds a core Skyfisher. That's a bummer. They Skyfisher and return this nothing. Alright, we can go refurb. Or they picked up the Limbus, okay. Into another refurb. They discard the Limbus. Let's play another refurbished familiar. I really wish I had the Grim Bauble now. Could take out a lot of their creatures. Okay, we'll pass the turn. I feel like they have air superiority against me. They were able to get a Glinhawk going, which picks up the Synthesizer for a Spell Bomb. Not great. They play the Synthesizer. They find a Black Mage's Rod. They can play the Black Mage's Rod. They don't get to play the Spell Bomb. Pass the turn. Maybe I just flicker the refurbished familiars here. I guess I'll hold back. Yeah, I'm going to hold back. We'll try to Spellstutter Sprite something and then hit it with the Eviscerator's Insight when they go for the removal spell. Go Synthesizer. I'll play the Spellstutter Sprite. And the Galvanic Blast. So we will now pay 2 and sacrifice the Spellstutter Sprite. We draw another refurbished familiar. They find a Rustvale Bridge. Plays the bridge. I can get rid of their entire hand. They play out a Nihil Spellbomb. Then they crack it. They draw a card. Okay, let's go refurbished familiar. See what you've got going on. This card's a Limbus. I'll play the Aqueduct and pick up my Mortuary Mire. Then Ghostly Flicker the 2 refurbished familiars. They discard Skyfisher. Discard Makeshift Munitions. They rip a Glinhawk. Dang. Finds a Sheltered Landscape off the Synthesizer. They replay the Synthesizer. Finds a Swamp. They probably just go Sheltered Landscape because that allows them to get something else going. I think I'm going to cast down the Skyfisher and then attack out. Or attack with my refurbished familiars and then I can Mortuary Mire it back. It sucks that we lost our card draw spells. If I find a Flicker, I can draw 2. Finding a Modern Age. I'm attacking. Forgot to kill this Skyfisher on the way beforehand. Choose to block. I'll put back the refurbished familiar. Crack the Landscape. They have their own refurbished familiar. Discard the Modern Age. They crack their Synthesizer, finding a Cleansing Wildfire. This is a good point for them to Wildfire me because then I lose the card, but they Wildfire themselves. Then they draw a card, which will immediately get discarded to my refurbished familiar, I suppose. They play it. So we'll refurb to draw a card. Attack. They're going to trade. Seem to be losing the race. Glinhawk. They've drawn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of their Glinhawk creatures in the top half. I guess that's on average. They're finding a bunch of bridges. Not sure how to punch through here. Just attack my refurb. Still want to trade. Play Vault of Whispers, pass the turn. We have draws that could get us back into the game. They play Nihil Spellbomb. Problem is this hero token. Puts the Rod on the Samurai. Law block. And then they put it back on the hero. Finding counterspell is not very good. One is going to put me to 11. I don't know how to get out of this one. I think we need find a Skyfisher off the synthesizer. So at least I can counterspell that and then go to my turn. Maybe they have something else in hand. They don't. Okay, we found a cryogen relic. That is a start. Draw a card. Finding a sneaky snacker. I'll play the snacker. They're attacking out. I'll block the samurai. We go to 9. Maybe they're holding bolts. If they have double galvanic, I'm dead. If I go to my turn, I can cryogen relic on the rod. Ugh. They play a Skyfisher, pick up the Black Mage's rod, and replay it. I'll try a Tithing Blade. They probably just sacrifice this hero token. I'm going to flip the Tithing Blade, getting rid of a refurb, because it's going to give me a drain effect, and maybe could keep me alive. They find another synthesizer. Is that the 4th one? Brutal. The 3rd one. Just feels like it. Finding a bunch of lands off the synthesizer. Shadow landscapes that they can't cycle. They find a Galvanic Blast, so I am dead. Well, Tithing Blade seems not good. I don't know if Cast Down's any good. Feels like the Blue Blasts could be good. I am not sure here. Obviously, we need to get rid of their creatures eventually. I need 4 Blue Blasts. Maybe we can just rely on the Grim Baubles. Get rid of the Blood Fountain. Get rid of the Cast Down. I'm bringing back in the Tithing Blade. I don't know about this. I don't know. I mean, best case scenario is we draw fast. Well, this is probably okay. I'll keep. Play land, Modern Age, pitch the snacker. That's my turn 2 play. I'll play See the Synod. My opponent plays a tap land, Rustvale Bridge. Will Modern Age and discard the Sneaky Snacker. I could have discarded a land. I think it's probably better to just discard it there. We'll see. They play an Owl Spellbomb. They were going to do that anyway. We'll draw, discard Island, play land, play Refurbished Familiar. They discard a Draw Swords Bridge. I'm holding up the spellstutter sprite for a synthesizer. Don't know if it's going to work. They have a Wildfire. Grabs another mountain. I have 4 power in the air. We drew a Cryogen Relic, which I do love. I'll play out the Cryogen Relic. Draw card. Finding another Refurbished Familiar. We'll play Refurbished Familiar. Discard you. They discarded Glenhawk. We'll play Island. Get in for 2. Maybe I can just power through them by flickering the Refurb and the Cryogen Relic. They play a Synthesizer. Finding a Limbus. They play the Limbus. Plays a tap land. Okay, let's attack for 6. And then flicker on Refurb and Relic. Make you discard before I draw anything. They're going to probably have to crack the Spellbomb here, otherwise the Snacker will return. We draw another flicker. No land. They will not give us the Snacker back. Cracks the Spellbomb. And they had discarded double Glenhawk. Plays a Skyfisher. Picks up Synthesizer, finding a Shattered Landscape. I wonder if they have let's just try Cryogen Relic. Feels like they alright, let's get in. Because I picked up a Mortuary Mire on the top, so I can just throw a Refurbished Familiar away here because I'm going to put it back on top. They'll take 4 damage. Then I'll put the Refurbished Familiar back on top. And they concede that. Okay. He came out the gates fast and powerfully. We'll resubmit. Okay. We have an insane hand if we draw lands. We have 21. We have 20 more lands in the deck. We have 60% odds to draw a land in the top 2. I'm going to keep it. Let's see. This hand is just so insane if we draw lands. I drew a Blue Blast. If we're not going to draw a land, at least I can cast that. We play a land. You're going for the Wildfire. I have the answer, which is strong. Didn't draw a land. I'm going to play a Draw Swords Bridge. Didn't draw land. We'll get rid of the Sneaky Snacker. Play Wildfire. Looks like they're holding up a Pyro. Getting a Plains. Plays a Plains. They tap out for a Refurbished Familiar. We'll just discard Counterspell. Find a Mistvault Bridge. Opponent getting in with their Refurbished Familiar. No Okiba Gang Shinobi. They play a Synthesizer. Finding a Swamp. And they will Glenhawk to pick up their Refurbished Familiar, I guess. They picked up the Synthesizer instead. Finding a land. So they can't play the land. They can play the... They don't play the Synthesizer. Let's go Mistvault Bridge. Attempt to play Cryogen Relic. We get to draw a card. They play a Synthesizer, finding another land. Plays a Glenhawk. Picks up the Synthesizer, another land. They're getting in. What's my best draw? Maybe just an untapped blue source or black source? Synthesizer again, finding Galvanic Blast. So they have to blast face if they want to use it. Skyfisher, picking up the synthesizer, finding a Limbus. They do Galvanic. I'll play a Refurbished Familiar. Discard you. Then I'll play a Refurbished Familiar. Discard you again. They have Synthesizer in hand left, I think. Cast down goes to the graveyard. Playing the Synthesizer. They find a Landscape. We'll block Refurb Glinthawk. Block and block. I go to 6. Crack the Synthesizer and find a Red Blast. They could blast my Cryogen Relic here. Might be a good idea. There's a Refurbished Familiar. I'll just discard the Modern Age. They have 6 power on the table. I don't know if I can beat this. They do blast the Cryogen Relic. They give me a card. I will just play out the Refurbished Familiar to start. Finding Counterspell. If I flicker Refurbished Familiar and the Black Source, I could draw the Grim Bauble. Didn't get there. GG. Okay, we're coming to come back from that mistaken one-lander. I'll mulligan this one-lander. And we're going to put back what? Put back the Flicker or the land? I think it has to be the Flicker. I'll play the bridge. What's my opponent going to do? They play a Citadel Gate, so they're on CawGate. Naming blue. Blue-white, right? Yes. I think I play the island. Pass. The problem with that is then I can't, like, I'll have 2 mana this turn, but then I'll have 1 mana, and then I'll have 4 mana with the Aqueduct. We're kind of just hoping they play a cat so I can spellstutter. Play Basilisk Gate. Modern Age. We'll just counterspell the Modern Age. Stop them from getting value. They're like, why would you do that? I don't know. I'm just doing things. Find a Snacker. Let's play Sneaky Snacker. And then Aqueduct. At least we got to use our mana this turn. That's nice. Picking up the island. Now I can Visitor's Insight the Sneaky Snacker after I attack. And I still have Spellstutter on 2. They play a Squad Hawk. Goes with 7 cards in hand. No lands. You'll love to see it. I'll play a land. I'll get in. I wonder if they block here. If they block, I feel like, yeah, they're calling my bluff. Like, I really want to Visitor's Insight this thing, so if they block, I'm going to have to sack it. It's probably better for them. I think their best play is to block. They figured it out. All right, I'll draw 2. Pass the turn. Okay, they play out an island. They could use their Squadron Hawk, pump it up. They'll get in for 1. I think seems like they are thinking about playing another Squadron Hawk, which I have the answer. Journey to Nowhere, I also have the answer, because they can't Dispel or Spell Pierce my Spellstutter sprite. They probably were not expecting that. Journey is countered. We'll go ahead and attack. Then I'll draw cards again, sacrificing the Sneaky Snacker. I'll play out a land and hit you with a Refurbished Familiar. Oh no. Darn, I can't refurbish them this turn. Should have played the Mistvault Bridge. What it just concedes. Wow. Grim Bauble kills all their stuff. Tithing Blade I can flicker. I wonder if I would rather have the Suffocating Fumes than the Tithing Blade. I think so. So we'll try it like that. Well, do I want the cast down? Feels like 1-for-1ing against their creatures is bad. So maybe I take out the cast down and then I Tithing Blade. It's a bit that way. Game 2, we're on the draw. We have 1 land again, so we're going to mulligan. Like I said, I learned my lesson. I'll get rid of the Suffocating Fumes. The fact that I have Cryogen Relic Flicker, ooh, baby. Let's see if we can make that happen. Let's see the Synod pass the turn. Our opponent plays a Seagate. So they could Spell Pierce this Cryogen Relic, which would be stinky. But I really need to put it on the table and just hope that it doesn't get Spell Pierced. Let's see if they have a Seagate on red and Pyroblast coming in. They're having a hard time choosing. They choose white. Maybe they forgot they had to choose. I'll just jam the Cryogen Relic ASAP. Full confidence. It resolves. We find an Eviscerer's Insight. Opponent's turn, they've got 2 mana. What will they do? Brainstorm. Maybe they're looking to do a Brainstorm Squadron Hawk, discard a bunch of stuff. Maybe they're just brainstorming. Plays a Basilisk Gate. Here's this Outlaw Medic. Alright. Let's go Cryogen Relic in case I draw a tap land. Through a Flicker. Play land, I'll pass a turn. Now my opponent can get in with their Outlaw Medic. Lots of damage. Okay. So we will take 4. Not sure what I'm looking to do here. I obviously want to flicker the Cryogen Relics. Drawing 4 isn't great. I'll try the Modern Age. I'll draw. Discard Eviscerer's Insight. We have another Cryogen Relic. So I'll play Cryogen Relic. We find a Snacker. So this turn I can discard the Sneaky Snacker and then use the Cryogen Relic targeting the Outlaw Medic, making it lock down for a turn. stopping the bleeding. And then that will return the sneaky snacker. And then I can spellstutter sprite a journey or whatever. Put a cat on the table. We'll draw. Discard the sneaky snacker. Let's see if I can just lock down the outlaw medic. But we're looking for a black source. Did not find one. Snacker returns. I'll play the land. They play a heap gate. We're getting brutalized by the sacred cat and the outlaw medic. They play a journey in nowhere. I'll attempt to spellstutter. They'll pyroblast. Okay. Bummer. We lose 2 creatures that way. They get in for 1. Find refurbished familiar. Not useful. I'll attempt to flicker. Trying to draw black sources. They didn't have anything. But we don't have a black source. Play a modern age. There's a black source. I'll discard the Eviscer's Insight. Play land. We'll Grim Bauble. Take out the cat. Next turn I can flicker the Grim Bauble. Target the outlaw medic. They're probably bringing the cat back. Then I can Suffocating Fumes. Play out a Squadron Hawk. It's 3 hawks. So I don't know if they're going to attempt to gate this turn. They do want to gate. That's 5 damage. Alright, I'll take it. See if my play will work. I got a 6. They're 34. We loot. Finding another flicker. Let's discard yet another Visitor's Insight. I'll flicker Grim Bauble and the Vault of Whispers. Make your creature smaller. And then we'll flicker on... No, that doesn't work. That's not what I want to do. Undo. Just cast Suffocating Fumes, of course. Donk. Their creatures are gone. And now I can attack for 1. Or for 2. Next turn I'll have 2 creatures. So I can at least stop their hawk. They have a Dust to Dust. Alright. Bummer. Plays another Basilisk Gate. And then they play a Squadron Hawk. So I can flicker Relic and Bauble and take out the hawk. I'm going to see the sign on. Should I just do that? I will. Flicker. Get rid of your creature. And then play land. Attack for 2. Need some black sources. We have 1 spellstutter sprite. It's just not enough. They play out a hawk. Another hawk. We just have nothing. Bummer. Okay, see the sign on? I really didn't expect the Dust to Dust, and I don't know why that's the case. They have see the Seagate on red. Gates up their Squadron Hawk. Gates up the other Squadron Hawk. Leaving up Pyroblast. I'll cryogen relic targeting their Squadron Hawk. Now that it's tapped. Finding a Grim Bauble. Relic the other one. Finding Mortuary Mire. We're going to block and block. Don't think Mortuary Mire is helping me very much. But at least it's a black source. We have a Vault of Whispers. And then I can play Refurbished Familiar. Or I'd have a Grim Bauble. Let's Grim Bauble. They have no more hawks. Grim Bauble can take 1 out. Or I just refurb them. I think I refurb them. Refurb. They get rid of a Strands. We don't have the discard to hand size. 2 cards in hand for them. They're passing the turn. What's my play? I find a snacker. I think I'm going to hit them with a refurbished familiar. They're going to discard again, a Pyroblast. A Mortuary Mire, and then not. Don't know if I want the Spellstutter sprites. I don't know. I'm going to say no. My opponent's going to murder both my creatures by attacking. They choose DeLorean Revealed here instead. I'm surprised. They draw 3 cards. They play another land. I will definitely block if they attack. If they don't attack, I will attempt to Grim Bauble to take out a hawk. Then we will attempt a Sneaky Snacker. We're assuming that they have Pyroblast. They don't do anything. Maybe I should start attacking. I have 26 cards left in my library. Oh man. They Breath Weapon to kill everything. Okay. Their creature's dead now too. You know that, right? Plays out a Modern Age. I think we are going to try to get to the point where I can Blood Fountain back, double Refurbished Familiar, and like mess up their hand. What are you going to discard? Discard's Outlaw Medic. They're just passing. Seems like they have counterspells. We have counterspells. Let's play Sneaky Snacker. Hit you with Refurbished Familiar. They discard a Pyroblast. That's so odd. They make a treasure. Sure. 2 cards in hand. They're going to draw and loot. Or draw and discard, which is loot. They discard a Basilisk Gate. Plays a Guardian. I have a counterspell, luckily. They play another Guardian. That's not fun. We have to block the Guardian with a Sneaky Snacker. Over and over. Which I guess is possible. If I find the Tithing Blade, that's also good. I'll Eviscerate Insight, sacrificing a Grim Bauble, which will return a Sneaky Snacker. We found the Tithing Blade just in time. Easy peasy. Tithing Blade. Opponent concedes. Oh man, that was amazing. I'll see you in round 5. So if I've learned something, it's don't keep a 1-land hand. We're not keeping it. Mulligan. Okay, we'll keep this one. What do I put back? I feel that it's probably the Modern Age. Okay, so we have Mistvault Bridge. Opponent is playing a Fairy Seer. Modern Age would have been way better, but at least I have a cast down. I don't know. How do I defeat them? Draw a bunch of refurbished familiars. Maybe the counterspell was the worst card in my hand because I'm so far from casting it. Play the Mistvault Bridge. If my opponent doesn't have counterspell open for the cryogen relic, I think it might be good to play that. But if they have a Ninja of the Deep Hours, I have to cast down the Ninja of the Deep Hours. Okay, they're just passing. I can play the refurbished familiar now, which I just drew. Quite a turn 2. They have counterspell. They're attacking in for 2, or for 1, with 2 mana available. Plays a Contaminant Aquifer and an Augur of Bogles. They find their counterspell number 2 off the Augur of Bogles. I think I just play out the cryogen relic and draw a card. And then I can play the Mistvault Bridge. Double Snacker for the next turn is kind of sweet. I'm worried about them having a Thorn of the Black Rose. They're passing the turn. I have a Ghostly Flicker. I think I'm going to try the snack. I feel like they're going to spellstutter it. I know they have counterspell. Sneaky Snacker is pretty good into Snuff Out. They cycle a Lorien Revealed. Still has counterspell in hand. Getting an island. Okay. When it attacks in with their 1/3. Yep. Just, that's all she wrote, huh? I'll try another Sneaky Snacker. It is got a spellstutter. Okay, so they have the counterspell for the cast down. Right. Play land. They're playing Extracted Confession. So I lose my creature. They're getting in. I guess I'm hoping that they ninja. They didn't ninja. Cast down, not very good. What I need is a blue source. I will hold on to the Vault of Whispers just in case they're getting in. I'll cast down the Spellstutter Sprite. We'll take 2. At least I changed the clock a bit. 6 turns instead of 4 turns. They have an Augur of Bolus. I counterspell, see if they want to counter back. Man, they have a Spell Pierce or they have a Dispel. Bummer. So what's my best draw? Refurbish Familiar? I will crack the Relic. That sucks though. Yep, I think we're probably dead. But it's going to attack. The counterspell was definitely the worst part of that hand. They play the Thorn of the Black Rose that I knew that they had. So we just don't draw anything. Dang. So it's a Monarchy battle. Suffocating Fumes is good. Tithing Blade's probably going to be medium. I think I cut the cast downs. We'll see. Maybe that's a bad idea. Now I'm on the play. It doesn't do anything. Alright, we'll keep this one, I guess. Get rid of the Flicker. We have no card draw, but we have Snacker into Snacker. Play the land. Snacker. One with a Brainstorm. We drew a Thorn of the Black Rose, which may or may not be okay. We kind of have to start a counter spell war on their turn like they did to us and then slam the Thorn of the Black Rose. We also have to draw cards that matter when it plays out the Fairy Seer. They go top bottom. Play another Sneaky Snacker. I'll attack. Or put in Brainstorms. Weird being in this wonky Fairy's Mirror. They play out an island. Another Fairy Seer. So I guess there's no point in attacking now. Alright, I have the Seed of the Synod. I will attack. They play a Contaminated Aquifer. Not attacking. Okay. I'll attack. They block. Now my Suffocating Fumes is live to kill their Fairy Seer. Don't know if that matters. They cycle a Lorien Revealed. They're working towards that Monarchy. I kind of am as well. There's a 4th land. We'll counterspell the Augur of Bolus. They're going to return the favor. I will return the favor. They spellstutter spreaded me. Let's just play the Thorn of the Black Rose. Play the island. That's the turn. No attacks. We draw another Fumes. They have a cast down for my Sneaky Snacker. Right. It's in for 1. If they have a Ninja, then they could replay the Fairy Seer as a blocker. Ninja of the Deep Hours. If I draw a land, I can double Suffocating Fumes. We play the Fairy Seer. I draw a Grim Bauble. So I will cast the Suffocating Fumes. Then I will Grim Bauble, getting rid of your creature, and attack in for 1. A very powerful 1 damage. Now I am the Monarch. I might have to use this Grim Bauble's ability on my upkeep. Surveil 2. They have a Monarch. Alright. I can kill their Monarch with my Suffocating Fumes. Yeah, let's just take a draw. I'll attack in. I'll cast a Suffocating Fumes. Their Monarch is dead. I'll pass the turn. They have 5 cards in hand. Stupid Monarchy. They draw for turn. Second time. My turn. We draw a Refurbished Familiar. Play Island. I'll try to attack for 1. Flash in. They Brainstorm. Now they go Spellstutter. I'll try a Counterspell. And they Counterspell. So they're going to lose the Spellstutter by blocking. Then I will Refurbish Familiar you. Really? A null. I'll crack the Grim Bauble. I'll put the Counterspell under the Cryo. They play out a Murmuring Mystic. Plays a land. So I'm going to attack into the Murmuring Mystic. They don't block. Okay. Let's attempt a cryogen relic. This is smart. We're going to be drawing the Counterspell. I guess I should just draw the Counterspell. When it attacks back for 1. We're just trading back and forth. Monarchy is not the greatest. You play a relic. That's kind of annoying. I'm going to let it resolve because I don't want them to fight on the stack and then have then they have Brainstorm anyway. Oh well. Guess I should have just tried to Counterspell. They crack the relic. They draw. They're very behind on clock. Find a Viscerous Insight. I will attack for 1. My opponent blocks. I'll play the Cryogen Relic. They have an annul. I have a Counterspell. And they just have another annul. Alright, I don't think I'm winning. Bad beats. We had some good matches though. Alright, thank you once again to Ritual Hippie for the deck donation. This deck was sweet. It was hard to try to figure out the lines. I don't know if there was some optimization that needs to be done, but we clearly had some pretty sick games where we took over, games that I didn't think we would win, and I always love to defeat a Tolarian Terror player. Hopefully you enjoyed. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments, and I will see you in the next video.